The GM strike, what it's doing to the economies of the Midwest, no early relief in sight. NBC News in depth, the Hollywood establishment. Why so little recognition for black artists on and off the screen? The Southern California poker parlor, are all the cards on the table, even though the federal government owns it? And at the new Denver airport, the same old problem, the baggage system. Now it's been fired, and it's not leaving quietly.
From NBC News, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Good evening. The impact of that United Auto Workers strike against General Motors goes well beyond the giant car company tonight. And on this election day in the Midwest, a number of local economies are beginning to hurt, and there's not much they can do. This shutdown affects 26 plants in 15 states, Mexico and Canada. But as NBC's Mike Jensen tells us now, it hits Main Street as well.
16 more GM parts plants entirely or partly shut down, including this one in Pennsylvania.
Well, nobody really wants to be out here, but we're going to be out here until we've got this worked out.
General Motors, America's biggest manufacturer, now has laid off more than 150,000 employees at more than 100 plants, with a growing ripple effect. The Midwest economy hit especially hard, hurting those least able to afford it.
Clearly, the smaller businesses, the ones who service many of these production plants, are the hardest hit.
The ripple effect means other big companies also feel the pain, including Caterpillar, which makes GM engines and is planning layoffs next week. Bethlehem Steel hit in the pocketbook. Seatbelt and airbag and electronic companies. If the strike lasts much longer, it will slow down the national economy.
GM produces about $1 out of every $100 in the economy, so it's important. And when it closes down, it's a matter of concern.
The issue for GM is what's called outsourcing, ordering parts from outside companies because it's cheaper. Ford and Chrysler already do more of that than GM. For the Auto Workers Union, it's all about jobs, mostly protecting those they have.
The issue is outsourcing, and we got to stay firm on that because a lot of jobs are being lost because of it.
There's a lot of job anxiety in America, and the strike and GM layoffs are making it even worse. But Wall Street loves it. GM made almost $7 billion in profits last year. And analysts say it could make even more money by using outside suppliers for parts. GM stock has actually gone up $2 a share since the strike began. Mike Jensen, NBC News, New York.
On another front, one of Detroit's leading executives is tired of all of this criticism that American CEOs are getting for downsizing their companies in an effort to make them more popular on Wall Street, more profitable. He is Robert Eaton, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Chrysler. And in a speech to the Detroit Economics Club, he struck back at the critics. Robert Eaton tonight, in his own words.
No question, it's open season on big business and CEOs. Partly that's because it's an election year and beating up on Wall Street and corporate America is a cheap way to get votes or to sell papers. This is old-fashioned, empty-headed, tub-thumping popularism. Downsizing and layoffs are part of the price of becoming more competitive. Corporate America has always had a PR problem. We haven't found a way to dress up certain economic realities so that we can take them out in public. Making money is still considered tacky in some circles. Creating wealth for society doesn't carry much cachet. Focusing on the bottom line is simply greed. We haven't made the case that our end goal is not making money. It's perpetuating ourselves so that we can serve all of our other constituencies. Now, I don't mean to get personal, but my mother has been my biggest fan over the years. At least she was until recently. Now the poor lady is getting confused. That's because every time she opens a magazine or turns on the television, she's told that people like me are no good.
Chrysler Chairman Robert Eaton tonight in his own words. Well, despite the strikes, General Motors stock did finish up 1 1/8 today to close at 54 1/4. As for the rest of Wall Street, the Dow was down in very heavy trading. The Nasdaq was down as well. When we come back, NBC News in depth. Are black filmmakers and stars getting a raw deal from the Hollywood establishment?
For the most part, the industry doesn't care about us. You know, if they think they can make a buck off of you, they will.
We're going to start, Mary.
Filmmakers, writers, actors mostly shut out at Oscar time. What's going on in Hollywood? And up next, it's primary day in the Midwest. Some swing voters who will be crucial come fall are in a foul mood this spring.
Now at Red Lobster, it's our fresh new lunch with delicious new ideas like our unlimited soup, salad, and bread combo. Imagine savory soup, hot and hearty, plus garlic cheese bread fresh from the oven, together with a crisp garden salad topped with tempting shrimp. All unlimited servings, just $4.99. And there's fresh new tastes too, featuring overstuffed sandwiches loaded with all your favorites. Make your next lunch the fresh new lunch, only at Red Lobster.
For different people, different one-a-days. Each has essential vitamins, but one adds more of what women need. Another has more for men. And older adults get the extras they need.
For everybody, there's a one-a-day.
Don't you wish we could just do this to air pollution? We can help. If homes and industries, power plants and vehicles would just switch to natural gas. Clean, economical natural gas. Think what we'll save.
My migraines kept me from my daughter.
The nausea was awful.
The pain was right here.
There's help for migraine. Migraine doesn't have to mean missing out. Research has given doctors new understanding about migraine. They can diagnose it better and provide surprisingly effective treatment programs.
My doctor helped so much.
Call your doctor today or call 1-800-682-6669 for more information about migraine.
Keeping track of the federal budget debate is about as exciting as reading the fine print in your life insurance contract. But here's an update tonight. Even though there's no budget for this year, President Clinton today submitted a proposed budget for next year. $1.6 trillion budget, a plan that includes $107 billion in tax cuts, almost $600 billion in spending cuts. The budget, all 4 volumes, weighs 10 pounds. It will cost you $105.25 for a personal copy. Joining me now is someone who has already, well, mostly studied his copy, NBC White House correspondent Brian Williams. Brian, what's going on down there?
Well, Tom, the 97 model of the budget was greeted with some skepticism. In fact, it was called DOA on Capitol Hill, but that didn't stop the president from coming out and pitching it anyway.
We have to meet our common obligation to act on our urgent national priorities. We should enact a balanced budget, and we should do it now.
It's appropriate, I think, looking at this budget, it fits in with March Madness. If this had been in the tournament, it had been knocked out in the first round.
The White House didn't like that sports analogy. One senior official here then accused the Republicans of being shrill, squawking, moaning, and crying, all because the president's balanced budget was out. Of course, nothing balances until they agree on a deal. Tom?
Brian, tomorrow you're going to have Senator Dole and Speaker Gingrich at the White House. Any chance of any progress?
Not believe so here. If you ask senior officials, they say the meeting is all about just getting the ball rolling, getting the talk started.
All right, thanks very much. Brian Williams tonight at the White House. From budget politics to presidential politics, primary day in the Midwest, as expected. Another big day for Senator Bob Dole, heading for a sweep. He's won in Ohio, Illinois, and Michigan. He's expected to take Wisconsin as well tonight. The polls are still open in that state. All this leaves him just a handful of delegates short of the 996 he needs to clinch the Republican presidential nomination. For all the Midwestern states voting tonight, a crucial swing vote is blue-collar workers. They switched traditional party lines to help elect Ronald Reagan, of course, in the 80s. Now it's an all-out battle for their hearts and minds and votes. NBC's Bob Fall went to Taylor, Michigan, to see how they're feeling this year.
The road to the White House passes through the choking grime and churning metal of America's factories and rests on the shoulders of blue-collar workers like Dennis Barrio, who gets $8.70 an hour buffing metal parts at a Michigan factory. In the 1980s, Barrio bolted the Democratic Party, which he felt was coddling minorities, and like thousands of workers, voted for Ronald Reagan for Reagan's vision and values. Now the question is, will those so-called Reagan Democrats come back home.
Right now, if it's between Dole and Clinton, yeah, I'd go for Clinton.
But when Pat Buchanan toured Barrio's plant, Barrio was impressed, as was Reagan Democrat Jeff Foster, who after 8 years here now gets $12 an hour in the packing department.
I'm not really a gung-ho any Republican or Democratic. Whoever can tell me what I want to hear is who I'll vote for.
On assembly lines in the Rust Bucket, workers who have seen benefits erode and job security vanish tend to see themselves not as Republicans or Democrats, but as anti-establishment, blaming whoever is in power.
Their factories are booming, but they're worried their jobs won't last. Nor do they feel the Democratic Party will protect them.
They ceased seeing the Democrats and no longer do as the party of the working class.
Well, that's some good chicken, huh?
There's another reason Reagan Democrats like Jeff Foster are not enthusiastic about the president. With 4 mouths to feed, his factory and her clerical job often do not stretch far enough.
At times, we're still robbing Peter to pay Paul, and then Paul to pay Mary. It's just difficult, even on a 2-income at times.
Whoever deals with their economic anxiety will get the Fosters' vote.
You want the politicians to worry more about the little guy.
Right on. That's what I would like.
But for now, they feel no candidate is, which is why, from the dinner table to the factory floor, blue-collar America is singing the political blues. Bob Fall, NBC News, Taylor, Michigan.
When we come back, NBC News in depth tonight, blacks in the film industry. What's wrong with this picture?
Take a good look through Transitions lenses. The lightweight plastic prescription lenses with a special tint that lightens and darkens as the light changes. Transitions lenses. Lightweight plastic lenses that darken and lighten just like that. It's comfort you can see, day or night, inside or outside. Ask for Transitions lenses and see for yourself. They're right in any light.
Hey, you.
Who, me?
Look what Betty Crocker's whipped up. A richer than rich brownie bar.
Ooh.
That's totally fat-free.
Fat-free?
You heard me. Now all the best of Betty's in a fat-free, ready-to-eat brownie. Sweet rewards.
Betty ought to get a reward for these.
Minor arthritis pain. Wish you could go back in time to before arthritis? Try Capsaicin P with the topical ingredient doctors recommend most for arthritis pain. When the pain is gone, it's almost like you've gone back in time. Capsaicin P.
You can still smell the coffee brewing every morning. You can still hear kids being called to the table. And you can still taste the simple goodness of Kellogg's Corn Flakes. The best things in life never change.
You gotta make it a great day.
NBC News in depth tonight, black Americans in the film industry. With the Academy Awards less than a week away, there's been an increasing amount of talk about blacks being shut out of the nominations, despite what many consider to be Oscar-caliber performances in several categories. Not that this year is all that different. For example, over the past decade, just 15 out of 200 nominees for on-screen performances have been black actors and actresses. All of this is raising some difficult questions for the Hollywood establishment. We begin our in-depth reporting tonight with NBC's Mike Betcher.
57 years ago, ever so slightly, Hattie McDaniel cracked open Hollywood's door.
I sure is glad you've come.
Her performance in Gone with the Wind made her the first black American to win an Oscar. But it wasn't until 1963, 24 years later, that another black American, Sidney Poitier, was honored with an Oscar.
I should say it's a very special thank you.
Since then, there have been only a handful of other black winners and nominees. This year is no different. Only one of 166 nominees is black. But this time, the movie industry received a very public slap across the face. The cover of People magazine, a biting headline, Hollywood Blackout, a national disgrace. Tim Reed should know. He is a successful television actor who met a lot of rejection when he tried to make a film.
We live sort of in self-denial in this community. Hollywood is truly a community that denies anything like racism that exists.
This has been an embarrassing debate for the entertainment industry, which considers itself liberal about such issues. Hollywood's powerful for once wanted out of the spotlight, and very few Hollywood insiders we contacted wanted to speak publicly about the issue. For good reason, says University of Southern California Film School professor Todd Boyd.
We don't encounter that in the way that in the 60s we saw bulldogs and water hoses. These practices and traditions have become commonplace over time to the point that they aren't even thought about.
The Academy's executive director, Bruce Davis, maintains that Oscar is colorblind.
This Academy looks at art and art alone, and that's all it can do.
Jesse Jackson, who's organizing a protest of Monday's Oscar ceremonies, responded in a letter. The industry is moving much too slowly to meet the challenge of our nation that is increasingly becoming a multicultural society. Charges of discrimination go behind the camera, too. Ironically, while blacks account for fully 25% of the movie-going audience, only a fraction of the Directors Guild is black. It's the same with black writers. In fact, only 4% of the people who select Oscar nominees are black.
This industry lags far behind, and I frankly am not optimistic about the future.
Justifiably, considering Hollywood's history, it was a big breakthrough when movies changed from black and white to color, the only color barrier that critics say Hollywood has broken. Mike Betcher, NBC News, Los Angeles.
When Sidney Poitier won his Oscar in 1963, there were no major black filmmakers. Now, one black director who has been a success story, controlling who works in front of the camera and behind it, is Spike Lee, of course. He's made 9 films in the past 10 years. His latest is called Girl 6. It premiered last night in New York. He says that black artists in Hollywood hold the key to their own destiny. Here he is tonight in his own words.
I'm glad the People magazine article came out, but why are we crying about what the Academy snubbing us? But even though it's a crime and it's a slight and it might hurt, we just can't worry about it. I don't think that we should let any organization be the one to validate your work. Action! The whole thing is a problem with the system.
Somebody's got to hire me, huh?
For the most part, the industry doesn't care about us. You know, if they think they can make a buck off you, they will.
Hi there.
Hi there. From the very beginning, I've had constant battles with the unions to get more black people in the unions. Cut! If you're an African-American director or a star and you don't insist that, look, let's hire black publicists on this. Okay, I see some African-American photographers. And how is anybody else going to get experience or have a career, you know, if they're not being used? And that is not to say that I'm just hiring black people because they're black. They got to do they got to do the job. Who's going to give them a shot for a career in this industry? If we don't do it, then how's it going to happen?
Ironically, this year the Academy Awards will be produced by one of Hollywood's most successful producers ever, Quincy Jones, who just happens to be black. And the host for the evening, Whoopi Goldberg. When we come back, guess who's in the casino business these days?
Ray and I set up shop here in the 60s. Man doesn't have a lazy bone in his body. Some time ago, his hands began bothering him. He'd take Tylenol or Advil and go about his business, but sometimes it got to be too much. So our doctor said to try Aleve.
This one you take every 8 to 12 hours.
Aleve is longer lasting than extra strength Tylenol. At the end of the day, it's stronger relief than a dose of Advil. It's all he takes. Ray's in every day except Sunday.
Gotta get my fishing in sometime.
Aleve. All day strong, all day long.
Welcome to a place where a quiet moment fuels great thoughts, where the coffee stirs the conversation, and the steamiest moments are found in a cup. It's not a coffee house. It's a place called home. Introducing Italian Espresso Roast from Maxwell House. Coffee house coffee you can brew in your regular coffee maker. Deep, intense, but not bitter. It's the first coffee house coffee that's good to the last drop.
Here's your drink. You're in a restaurant. This is your choice. This? 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 Bum, bum. As sweet as this. No bitterness like this with saccharin. And good.
equal 0 calories, 0 saccharin.
It's not going to change your life, but it's going to make it a little sweeter.
When was the last time you played in the rain? Let your hair go wild. Flexed your muscles to the world. Stayed up past your bedtime. When was the last time you really had fun in a car? Riviera by Buick. Go ahead. Express yourself.
Darden. Gumball.
You accused Judge Ito of, your words, being drunk with fame. Were you a little bit intoxicated too?
Tomorrow on Today.
Presidential aide Vince Foster. Was it suicide? Unsolved reveals exclusive new information about his final note. All new Unsolved Mysteries, NBC Friday.
In Congress today, there was some blistering criticism for a very strange business partnership. It involves the U.S. government and a casino in California. NBC's Pete Williams has more tonight.
It's one of the biggest legal casinos in the country, the Bicycle Club near Los Angeles. Who owns it? The U.S. Marshals Service, the same agency that rounds up fugitives, has a 1/3 stake. The Senate committee today said it's time the Marshals cashed in their share.
As gamblers say, you've got to know them when to hold them. Clearly, for the Marshals, it's past time to fold them.
Federal agents seized the casino in 1990 after convicting some of its investors of drug smuggling and money laundering. It's by far the most valuable property ever taken under the law that allows the government to seize anything tainted by drug money. The casino turned out to be a cash cow, earning $200,000 a day. The government's take so far, well over $30 million. But it's also been a constant headache. One of today's witnesses, a former employee, now in prison for extortion, charging losing gamblers interest rates of 3% a day, while the Marshals were running the casino, and while he was earning a fat annual salary.
Well, I think it's approximately $6 million in 1992.
$6 million.
$6 million.
And the casino's chief of security claims that crime is still a problem there.
Government inaction in the face of money laundering, skimming, and narcotics, to name a few, translates into government participation into the criminal activity itself.
The government says it has tried to get out of the casino business, but can't find a qualified buyer. In the meantime, the Marshals say they're trying to keep it clean.
I'm concerned with the criminal activity that has been alleged to exist at the club, and we've turned that information over to the appropriate authorities.
The government contends it's not easy selling a casino. The senators say with a bicycle club making $70 million a year, there doesn't seem to be any hurry. Pete Williams, NBC News, Washington.
In Bosnia tonight, a turning point for Sarajevo as the last suburb held by the Serbs was turned over to a federation of Bosnian Muslims and Croats. Thousands who fled the area during fighting came to look for family and housing. This area, of course, was heavily damaged during the war. Now to NBC News Online, beyond the day's headlines. China is a powerhouse in many ways, but not necessarily when it comes to fashion. Communism bred conformity, but a new look is coming. The government has hired French designer Pierre Cardin to create new uniforms for China's civil servants. This is an effort to project a modern, more positive image. To a certain generation, the British invasion meant great rock and roll with many a great drummer on the backbeat. But those days are over. Sitting behind the drums today, the artist formerly known as Prince, doing his bit for charity. Charles proved that when it comes to rock and roll, he'll never be king. Rhythm does not come with castles. When we come back, luggage wars at the Denver airport. It's a soap opera. We've got the latest episode.
Great beer taste, only 70 calories, and only from Anheuser-Busch. The non-alcohol brew for any occasion.
If you want 100% of 11 of many vitamins and minerals, try Total. To get that from Corn Flakes, you'll both have to add more than just milk.
Yeah, such as?
Well, you could start with these. Make Total part of a balanced diet. One bowl, 100%.
Everybody needs some money sometime. Everybody needs some cash somehow.
Hello?
Rita, got your credit card?
I need $500.
Now.
I'll call Western Union.
Just call 1-800-CALL-CASH and you can use your credit card to send money from home, anytime, day or night. And that can make everyone sleep easier. Western Union, the fastest way to send money worldwide.
Claritin.
I'll ask my doctor.
It's time to see your doctor.
For a trial of Claritin.
Yes, ask your doctor for a trial of Claritin. For free information and a $5 coupon toward a prescription for Claritin, call 1-800-CLARITIN.
So? He said he wants more control. Oh, boy. Told me he's looking for faster response and more security.
Then he's leaving the firm?
No. He's getting a Cadillac DeVille.
Now DeVille is better than ever because now it has the North Star system and its extraordinary combination of comfort, safety, security, and performance. Nothing else feels like DeVille from Cadillac.
I suppose he'll want a better parking space, too.
This is what the camera saw. But what really happened? For the first time, hear both sides from the law and the lady. Watch a Dateline exclusive tonight on NBC.
Can you just imagine the excitement at the BAE company a few years ago when it won the contract for the baggage delivery system at Denver's multi-million-dollar new airport? Now, fast forward to March 1996. Let the lawsuits begin. NBC's Roger O'Neill tonight.
It hasn't. It doesn't.
They said that they had a small problem with the baggage system.
And it might never work, that is. The $218 million computerized, only one of its kind, baggage system at Denver's new airport. In fact, it performs miserably, according to the only airline that tries to use it. So disgusted is United Airlines, it fired the company that built the baggage system. But BAE, the bag company, won't turn over the keys, the computer software that runs it. Instead of delivering passenger suitcases, lawsuits are now being delivered by the lawyers of United Airlines and BAE. In federal court, the airline says the whole mess is in danger of becoming so much scrap metal. Nonsense, claims BAE. In state court, it says the bag system is complete and United owes it $27 million. And just to show it can't be pushed around, BAE was.
We have reached substantial completion, and we just do not understand why United will not agree to that.
While the two companies slug it out in court, the best advice in Denver is carry on. Roger O'Neill, NBC News, Denver.
That is Nightly News for Tuesday. Tonight on Dateline NBC, how did Howard Hughes become the world's most famous recluse? A story from those who knew him best. Dateline tonight at 10/9 Central. I'm Tom Brokaw. I'll see you back here tomorrow night.
Funding for the News Hour with Jim Lehrer has been provided by CTR Business Systems, serving business, building solutions with information technology since 1913.